Talking about people holding their heads up. Talking about people holding their heads up. Have you seen this? Finally. After weeks of waiting, the Berghain birthday timetable has finally been released, but it hasn't been released. It got leaked on the Berghain community subreddit, one of the best subreddits ever in the history of subreddits, so big up those people over there. It hasn't actually been put out officially on the Berghain website from what I'm aware of. Let me actually check, but I'm pretty sure it has not been put out on the actual official Berghain website just yet. People are still waiting for it to be put out. Yeah, look, see, it's still not out yet. It's still not up there. I don't know why that's the case, but for some reason, Berghain still haven't put it out, even though it's happening this Friday. So I'll be in Berlin actually this Friday. I land sometime in the afternoon, I think. Probably going to record a bunch of streams, so you probably see me recording on the Friday coming up. But I'm going to head there early as possible to have some fun and enjoy the 20th anniversary of Berghain. I think the last birthday I went to might have been the 18th, so this will be a nice one to go to. But the timetable has officially been released, and it's a banger straight away. So from the 13th, I guess from the Friday, the first day, you've got Fido and DJ Pete, who I also want to see. DJ Pete has seen play at Powerhouse and Powerhouse predominantly at that bar called Paloma. Big up Finn Johansson, puts on one of the greatest nights. Actually, I think that's happening. Actually, yes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it happening again? I swear that's happening. Yeah, I think there's another. Oh my god, there's so much on that weekend, and oh my god, I'm gonna die. I think I might die. I think there's a power disco happening. So there's Powerhouse that Finn Johansson does, which is usually it's him and another DJ going back to back kinda. Powerhouse is obviously, its name is in the genre is in the title, and then Power Disco is mostly disco. One of the best kind of like parties I've been to in a long time, especially in a club that I haven't really not that familiar with in Paloma in Berlin. But there's actually one on there's one on the 14th. So I'm gonna be, I might be actually dead. I might die on that particular weekend. I'm not gonna lie, I might particularly die. But DJ Pete usually plays at the version of this, which is called Powerhouse. But he's gonna be obviously at Berghain. So I've got a jam-packed weekend. So the plan is to kind of arrive on the Friday, get situated, breakfast, whatever, check into the Airbnb, stream for a little bit, change, and then head out. And then I want to get and queue up as early as possible. I'm not saying the time because I don't want to bait up my time. Everyone gets there when they want to get there, but the queue's going to be fucking crazy. So I want to get there as early as I can on a Friday, get in, get my wristband, dance a bit for a little bit, and then go and sleep, and then come back in the morning, and obviously go to maybe Power Disco in the Saturday as well, because Power Disco is happening at Paloma on the 14th. So many things to think about. Anyway, regardless, the timetable is crazy because I've got to probably mark down who I want to see and kind of be, or maybe someone's gonna. Actually, I remember somebody making an app. I don't know if that person still exists. There's a person on the Berghain community subreddit that made like an app that you could kind of like select people that you wanted to see on the timetable, so you kind of make a little plan for yourself, an itinerary of sorts. So timetable, we've got opening Fido back to back with DJ Pete in the main room, and from what I can see here, everyone gets like, what is it, a 4.5 hour set basically. Everyone's playing a 4.5 hour set. I think before I read it was free, so I guess maybe the 30 minutes just to kind of like get people on the decks or something, but it's a 4.5 hour set. So you got Fido back to back with DJ Pete, then you got Surgeon playing. So some people are playing back to back, some people are playing on their own. So you got Surgeon playing on his own. Then you got Face Fatale back to back with Terence Fixima, Kyle Geiger back to back with Vincent Newman, Etap Kyle and Daria Kolosova, which is a couples thing, which would be that should be a vibe actually. I might actually want to see this. I'm not the biggest fan of either, not to bury the lead or anything, but I think together they might actually be fire. I'm not gonna lie, I might have to see that. And you got Miss Kitten back to back with Marcel Dietman. That should be a fucking burner. Honey Dijon by herself. You got Amatek back to back with Answer Code Request. And then on the 15th, which is the Saturday or the Sunday, right? I think the 15th is a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, right? 15th is a Sunday, yep. On the Sunday, you got Renee Wise back to back with Rod Had. This is probably going to be at its most rammed, I think. No, sorry. Its rammed will probably be around here, from Etap Kyle down to Amotech and Answer Code Request. And the probably longest queue is probably going to be on the 15th. That Sunday is just going to be hours and hours of people queuing. I'll probably go take some pictures and videos to show you what's going on, but it's going to be fucking crazy. So you got Norman Nodge, Amaral, you got Sinodi playing on his own. You got Fadi Mohem back to back with Ben Clark, Bestie Hira playing on her own. You got Kelza back to back with F Dimin, which would be a good one. Steffi back to back with Tasha, Lemfaki on their own. Luke Slater by their own. Jacka with Barker. Tamo Sumo and Lakuti, another couples thing. That should be good to see. Oh, Panorama Bar, you got Dinky. Oh yeah, I forgot Dinky's playing. Dinky, Matthew Smiles. Oh, Cormac back to back. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. So hold on. Let's start 14. So you got Cormac back to back with Curses on 1 p.m. Who's playing 1 p.m. there? Oh, you see, I can't even see. Look at the clash already. I can't see. If I want to see Etap Kyle and Dario Koskova, I have to kind of jump between both rooms because I want to see Cormac and Curses. That's gonna be a fucking fun time. See those two play back to back. So I'm probably gonna have to be running up and down the stairs to be seeing both sets. But you know, it's in one room or in one building. No big deal there. You got Richard Akimbembe back to back with Parallel Line, and Mecca back to back with Galagos. You got Seth Troxler playing by himself, which might be decent. Orgazon back to back with Ryan Elliott. That could be quite nice, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Who else is here? I want to see. OC back to back with Soundstream. Maybe Roy Perez, Avalon Emerson. Oh, that's a barnstormer. Not gonna lie there. Natalie Robinson, Virginia might also be very good. Actually, that's what I'm wondering. Why didn't Virginia play with Steffi? Haven't they? Is that true? They've broken up. I'm not sure if that's true. I think I read somewhere that Steffi and Virginia might have broken. That's probably why they're not playing together. But probably would have been nice to see Steffi and Virginia play back to back. But anyway, you got Boris back to back with Ralph. That should be a good one too. And then on the 16th, you got Gerd Jansen back to back with And then however you got whoever these people are playing who I don't really give a fuck about. But that's basically the lineup. The timetable has been leaked, unfortunately, for those of people, maybe people who are associated with Berghain aren't really happy about it, but I'm happy about it because, you know, being a tourist, I kind of need this to be sorted ahead of time so I can kind of stop being panicky and, you know, whatever, anxious. So now I know Wagwan. Essentially, I'm going to be there from early doors anyway. And then, of course, probably come back later on, maybe to see. Well, not probably. I definitely will be coming back later on in the afternoon to see probably Etap Card, Miss Kitten, Marcel Dietman, maybe even Honey Dijon, and obviously see a bit of Renee Wise as well play. But yeah, it's gonna be a mad one. It's gonna be an absolute mad one. Can't flipping wait. But oddly enough, the people that actually do Berghain, allegedly this person. This is a Berghain light technician reaction to the birthday timetable leak. So this is actually a bad thing. I didn't know this is a really bad thing. Allegedly, whoever leaked this timetable wasn't meant to leak it, which is probably the reason why they posted it and deleted their account straight away. People do that sometimes a lot. You know, it's a good way to kind of get information out there without it coming back to you. So you post it straight away, then delete your account. That's why it says deleted there. You don't see who posted it. But somebody that works at Berghain, allegedly, this person called Pareka Binaer, who allegedly is a lighting technician there, says as follows on their Instagram stories. As many of you know, I love the disco. This place is still like no other place even after 20 years. We have to protect it and be thankful that what we have every single weekend. It is so stupid that someone posted the timetable before the official announcement. Please stop posting or especially leaking things that happen inside these walls. What happens in Berghain stays in Berghain. Yes, it is just a timetable, but a lot of little things are in the end one big thing. Post how long the queue or how tasty the noodle slider is, but keep the wild stuff in your memories, and if you know internal stuff, do not share it. I agree to a certain extent, but unfortunately we're at a point in time now where this place is so big, so popular, the techno scene is so frothy, it's so hyped up that this is bound to happen. I think I've seen more, maybe because I'm obsessed with this place, but I'm always on the subreddit, always checking the flipping checking the weekend timetable thing and people posting what's going on and people posting the queue. And I think in recent years, other people too can probably attest to this. I think in the last 18 months, I think I've seen more people within the people keep people up to date what's happening at the Berghain. I've seen more people posting, oh, so and so posted a video inside the club than I've seen ever in my entire life going there in the last 20 years or so. I think in the last 18 months, I've seen a real uptick in people posting videos of themselves inside Berghain, getting reported or getting spoken about on the Berghain subreddit, maybe being reported to a staff member and eventually getting kicked out and their account going private. But I've seen more of that happening over the years. I think that's definitely a sign of like a shift in the people that go there, a shift in the mentality, and blah 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 blah. So I think it's almost impossible to keep a lid on that sort of stuff. They do a good job because I think for the most part, a lot of us that go there kind of like treat it like it's our home. So we kind of like, you know, for as lame as that may sound, you know, you're more aware of your surroundings. You're letting people know, hey, you can't do certain things. I've seen regular punters tell off people for doing drugs on the dance floor and telling them to go to the bathroom and shit. So people kind of, there's a lot of like looking after the space, you know, kind of together that kind of help to kind of keep a lid on things. But I think it's quite impossible to really avoid people doing certain things like what they may have done with this timetable leak. It's really hard, especially with a very much hyped 20th birthday party after everything that's happened with the pandemic. It was very hard to keep a lid on it, especially considering people like myself, you know, and others too are probably traveling far and wide just wanting to know Wagwan. I'd imagine a lot of the demand for the timetable came from people that just don't even live there and wanting to know what's going on so they can kind of figure out the day and plan accordingly, because I'm sure some people are going to be flying in on Saturday, on Sunday, blah, 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 blah. So I think it's really difficult to do. But he does make a good point. This is a little thing, but sometimes when you start taking your eye off the little things, it can end up affecting the bigger things. So if you start to like turn a blind eye, or you know you're okay with people posting lineups and stuff and leaking stuff like this, eventually it'll get to a point where people start posting other bits and leaking other things. So you kind of have to be like this with these sort of things to kind of keep things where they need to be. And I think Berghain's almost iron grip on the way this club is perceived or presented on the outside is essentially what's kept it so good over the years, despite it being an incredibly commercial, you know, it's not really underground anymore. It's a super commercial club, but I think it's been able to keep its essence and keep its position as being one of the best clubs in the world because they've got such an iron grip on everything that they do, right? They don't fuck around. No one really leaks lineups. Even sometimes on the Berghain community subreddit, you might hear people say, oh yeah, you know, so might be ending, but you don't really hear really plans of people playing ahead of time. You usually hear it within a couple of days of the lineup getting announced anyway. So they do a good job of keeping that stuff, you know, keeping a lid on it. But I think it's just going to be harder to do the more popular the club gets, the younger the generation that comes in starts to get introduced to it, and just different people that just don't give a shit. Because I've seen way more, and again, I don't really check the geotag anymore. But I used to always check the Berghain geotag on the weekend and see what people are uploading in terms of clips to see if I can find out tune IDs just to see the kind of vibe. And I think there'd be random times I'll see bare people posting like legit videos inside. Like I see people posting pictures of themselves drinking, you know, doing whatever they're doing in the toilet, and that never used to happen in the past. So I think if I'm seeing it, I'm sure they're seeing it. So they're definitely seeing a kind of change in the environment and what's happening over there. But hopefully it won't affect the night. But I am still anticipating an absolute blockade. Anybody that's been to any sort of special event that they put on, they're really good value for money. I said it previously before. Going to these sort of events are really good value for money for a tourist like myself, because let's imagine the ticket price will probably be like, I'm assuming it's probably going to be anywhere between like €50 to €70. It's going to be probably a $5 or €5, I think, is it re-entry or something like that, right? So it's still way cheaper than most clubs in the world, especially in London, to see all of these like super high level incredible DJs play and artists and stuff. It's going to be incredible. So it's great value for money for people like myself, even people that live there. But unfortunately the demand is so crazy, so it's going to be absolutely roadblock. Like the last time I went to one, I'm not gonna lie, I did admit later on, because I was kind of, you know, I didn't want to admit it at the time because I was kind of ashamed. But I think if I remember correctly, I think I might have queued for the 18th birthday. I think I might have queued between 4 to 6 hours before I got in. Before 4 to 6 hours. I think I might have arrived like 4 a.m. or something like that. Something naughty like that, 4 a.m. on a Sunday, and it took me 4 to 6 hours to get in. And that was also, it took super long because, you know, people were cutting in. That's what happens all the time with special events. A lot of people that live there have this sort of like thinking, like because they live in Berlin and people like tourists are coming in for these special events, so they have more rights, so they feel more emboldened to cut in and to kind of cut the queue. Obviously they don't know that I'm not the person to cut in front of. Like, I will make a scene, I'm gonna shouting, I'm gonna get into a fight, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna have you just cutting in front of me when I've been standing in the, you know, freezing cold fucking Berlin winter waiting to get in, and you just cut in front because you live here. Like, no, that's not happening. Especially if like, actually, if somebody asked me, I probably would let them in, you know. It really wouldn't be that much of an issue, but it's just the fucking entitlement of walking in feeling like you own the place. It's like, rah, allow it, man. We're all here together, innit? So the cutting in obviously, you know, doesn't help with the queue times, but it's going to be rammed. It's going to be chock-a-block. And if anything, maybe the timetable might actually help to kind of ease the queue. You never know. People might see who's playing when and kind of come at certain times. You never know. But yeah, it seems like the people at Berghain aren't happy about that release of the timetable being put out there. So let's see what happens going forward. Let's see if this is the first and last time these sort of things be put out. I'm not too sure. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to keep waiting and seeing. But I can't wait for Friday. I really can't wait for Friday. And also, I've got somewhere to go on a Saturday. I've got a disco event happening. Finn Johansson playing back to back with or playing alongside Filippo Moscatello, who I don't really know much about, but I'm sure it's going to be fucking awesome. Was it a festive season? Of course, at Power Disco HQ, we interpret slightly different. FNF Senior Mac Daddy's Vintage Disco Stardust will drop some extra emotional joints for this occasion. So yeah, this should be good as well, because you know it's one of the only kind of non-fucking techno nights that happen in Berlin as well, so that's gonna be a fucking fun time to go out. So I've got my whole weekend planned out. Big up everybody that'll be there. Big up everybody that will be there.